Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? So, we got my boy fighting against so many high-ranked people lately. It's kind of crazy to think that the puppets have like specific things that just make them much more deadlier than we've already seen. And I think because of that, it gives me kind of like this weird notion that we'll probably be getting a lot more of like just drawn out good fights. And there's nothing wrong with the fights that are already in here, but they definitely go by a lot quicker than I would like. And I think with how they illustrated and showed off this one was pretty clear that they had, a more of a longer lasting kind of a battle to pan out in general, which was dope. Excuse me. I feel like where they were going with this was just the fact that we hadn't seen all of our martial artists as guys like upgrades fully utilize, in my opinion, because when he first got him, he honestly didn't know what to do at the first point, I feel like. But as of him living with it and having been, conditioned to let his body be used to the weight and the way it feels, he's probably got a lot better grasp of it overall. So that's kind of my overall senses on how he's coping with it as of now. Because I mean, it was probably pretty rough to deal with it at first, having like jetpacks in your arm, and he's got like roller like wheels implanted in his foot and stuff. Like all of this stuff was put into him because of the fact of um, after getting into a fight and practically losing, he ends up in a position of not having like enough blood and not just everything's going wrong for him. So the first thing the guy thinks of in this situation is to give him, people have already passed away in the fight, so the limbs that he's kind of like losing in the process get replaced by these stronger limbs, which reminds you, one of his limbs were already an arm from one of the most powerful puppets that we've seen at the beginning of the show and stuff. So it's just a weird notion of what can this guy do in the sense of, since he's human, how much of his limits can he surpass? How much will he surpass? And do any of these animatronics even have a chance once he starts like getting really, really, really comfortable with all of the stuff he's equipped it with? So that's kind of my general consensus on how he's already become very capable of destroying a lot of these puppets in general. But my only problem is there's no way he's going to uh, beat Faceless. I feel like at this point, if he's getting tore up, or not tore, he didn't get really beat up, but if he even has to like try and push himself past his limits to beat these guys, I feel like that's just the indicator of there's worse around the corner. Like there's got to be um, something that even scares these guys at this point, when you have such a powerful enemy coming in the show quite early on. I feel like in the sense of Faceless making his move when he did, it seemed earlier in the show than I expected, but at the same time, it was much appreciated because we don't know much about why the younger brother did some of the other questionable things he's done. So maybe we will get that answered sooner than later, but regardless of that, I think just watching the overall narrative that they put forth is really fun. Not to mention, the one thing I hope for this show is they don't like mess up any of their own continuity, because I don't remember. I could have sworn he didn't. Our main guy who's good with martial artist, he's good with martial arts. I could have sworn he didn't remember Eleanor when he first ran into her, or he thought she was Lady Francine and stuff like that. And that was kind of the reason why he acted the way he did. Like he almost straight up killed her, you know. So for him to all of a sudden be like, wait, they have Eleanor on their team? Like, whoa, why would Eleanor be, you know, it's like, wait, why do you care? You literally just tried to kill her the last time you met up with her, you know, so that was kind of confusing. But overall, I get the general consensus with them being like, oh, well, we got our master with us already, so we're gonna try to follow her rules, and her rule was don't kill anybody, don't kill any humans. The first thing this guy does is go out and almost body every human you can think of. So, yeah, they're not doing too well on following the rules, which surprising, no. Um, I honestly think that the fight in this episode was one of the top like five because he's came into his own from allowing the blood or like the aqua stuff to, you know, kind of take over and make him be emotionless and just kind of like hollow and have a desire to. Now he's kind of back to that fight for everybody and make sure everybody lives type of mentality. So not only did he like kind of come back from what he was becoming, he now seemingly is even better than, you know, he was before, which is also a good factor to have within his character. Because not to be against the guy, but he was getting pretty close to getting bodied by some of the older uh, robots and stuff. So to know that he has grown tremendously is a good sign for his survival. So overall, the episode really kind of just gives us more reason why we should be worried about Faceless and um, you know how he has this influence on these animatronics or whatever to be so loyal to him. That's a huge danger as of right now. So I'm really interested to see what actually plays out because, like I said, this guy was like the leader of a assassin's group or whatever, but he had some very interesting ways of fighting humans and just a sense of the abilities he already had obtained. Not the abilities, but the way his body nullified the abilities of the humans, aka getting punched and having something that absorbs the pressure of that punch. You know, stuff like that seems pretty broken, you know, if you ask me. But I just like the fact that that's kind of where this show was going. Is there's gonna be more of these, you know, bot or these puppets that are gonna learn ways to counteract our main characters, and that's just gonna be a way for them to get stronger and get closer to becoming that much better of being warriors and stuff. So really interested to see where this show ends up going as a whole, simply because I love the fact that they're playing these battles out the way that they are, not to mention the fact that a lot of people don't even really watch the show, and there's so many episodes out now that it's just getting to the point now to what um, what more can they show us? You know, is where the show's kind of going. It's like, are they gonna show us some more creativity of their love for Guy? Are they gonna bring back our main guy and give him his memory back? Is everybody gonna reunion and it's gonna be a bad reunion? What's gonna happen is pretty much where I'm stuck at now, and I can't wait to see what plays out. That's all I'm all about right now. So, with all that being said, everybody, I hope you have an amazing day, night, evening, whenever you're watching this. I probably am gonna look into what's all gonna be showing up today as anime. So if nothing like crazy pops up or another show that I want to review, I might do a why you should watch. And if you are interested in that, make sure you are ready for some other content. I think I'll for sure try to get it out to you guys. If not, just thank you for even watching this. So I hope you have an amazing day, night, evening. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. I am the Anime G, and I will talk to you in the next one. Peace.